What is up, my friends, and how's it going? And welcome back to the 24th episode of our Let's Play series as Parthia with your fellow comrade Summary. In the previous episode, we had wiped out the Roman faction in Iberia, as well as fought that final battle in Vesontio and wiped out the Roman faction. And pretty much there are two episodes left, this being the 24th and the final, the 25th episode. And it is going to be sort of an anticlimactic two episodes since we have gotten rid of our major adversary for this campaign. However, what we are going to try to achieve is to slightly clean up our borders, as well as create a lot of satrapies around our borders. As you can see, we are pretty much secured, especially in the east. There are no factions that can threaten us. All the factions that you see here are our satrapies, including Bactria, Marca, Haik, Pontus, Udii, Royal Scythia, Muscat, the Kushites. And of course, even in Africa, all the four factions that you see over here are our satrapies, and that includes Tingis, Musulami, the Phoenices, as well as the Nasimones. We are going to try to achieve to do the same in Iberia, or on our western and northern front. And as you can see on our western front, the Bituriges is almost securing our provinces. Meanwhile, in the turn between turns, we also managed to subjugate the Vindelici. They have accepted to become a satrap. So we are going to give them the entirety of Noricum, Thracia. Meanwhile, we are also going to do the same with our Lusitanan subject and give him the entirety of Hispania. We are at war with the Artabri, which province we also want to give to the Lusitanan. And we are at war with the Scordicii, and we also are at war with the Eravici, which I believe maybe we are not at war with them yet, but the intention is to actually subjugate them. However, without any other further delays, let's hop right into the battle, have a quick look at our rival factions, and they are quite loyal towards us. So that is great. Meanwhile, we can hide all the deceased, and pretty much our armies are making their way into Pannonia. As you can see, Army 4 Italia with that final build with our late Gallic noble shield wall, as well as we have Army 1 Parthia that is slowly recruited up to that siege army type. Meanwhile, over here we have Army 2 Mesopotamia. Also, we have replaced all our Spartan hoplites in favor of these Averni Argoi, which are the Averni noble shield bearers or shield wall, and they, in my opinion, are a lot better than Spartan hoplites, so that is an upgrade. However, without any further ado, let us quickly look at our western front, and as you can see, our armies are in Brigantium. However, we are starting to take some attrition, so we are going to have to go ahead and declare the war against the Artabri. Let's go ahead, quickly declare this war. Hopefully all of our satraps join us, and they do. Satraps pretty much love us, and we are just simply going to auto-resolve this one, I believe. However, I could just stay in position and meanwhile choose to attack. We don't have much to do in this campaign, so I am going to show off all the battles that I possibly can. And we are going to hop right into this battle, and I will see you all in the battle. Welcome to the battle. We are going to start our deployment. And our reinforcing army is coming from this direction, so we are going to move our army in that direction. Fast forward over here. We do want our generals to be in one group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of our horsemen over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other 10 can come here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And we are going to go ahead and put up our cataphracts over there like that. Meanwhile, select all our horse archers, toggle on that skirmish mode. Bring our horse archers forward. We are fast forwarding the battle a bit so that our troops get into position. Meanwhile, move our cataphract units to support our horse archers, as well as our generals can move up ahead. The enemy is going for the high ground, however, very soon they will abandon it in order to chase down my horse archers. And with that, the enemy has kind of started to chase our troops, so I am going to quickly double tap on the T button to slow down the battle. And as can be seen, they are a pretty big army. However, we are bigger and we are also a nomadic horse archer army. So we should do quite well against them. I'm going to pull back Group 2. Have a quick look of what's going on over here at Group 4. Pull back Group 4. Get our cataphracts up ahead so that they can deal with the enemy cav. Spread them out all the way. Meanwhile, Group 3 can move behind as well. We are going to move our other cataphract units over here. Wonderful. And now 2 of these units can go ahead attack here. 2 of these units can go ahead and attack there. And we do have another cavalry unit that's charging our flanks. However, that's not bad. We can stop the fire at will with our Group 4. And Group 4 can actually go ahead and charge into this cavalry unit. Meanwhile, Group 3 come a little bit to the side. Cataphracts are done routing out the enemy cavalry. Quite soon, just give chase to that unit. Go ahead, hit that unit. Hit this cavalry unit. The cataphracts are doing some severe damage over here. And things are looking good for us, especially on the left flank. And these cataphracts are also losing. Meanwhile, Group 4 has dealt with those units, so we are going to move Group 4 around the enemy units quickly as we can. And this cavalry unit is also routing, so we're going to pull back all our cataphract units. Group 3, we can pull you behind. Group 2, come up a bit forward. Group 3, move behind. Group 1, move behind. Group 4, you're doing quite well. And I can toggle on the fire at will with Group 4. Get them to start attacking the enemy units. Meanwhile, pull all of our cataphracts behind. Pull all of our horse archers behind. Try to hit the enemy unit. Group 2 can go ahead, turn off that fire at will, chase down the enemy archers. Group 3, turn off your fire at will, hit this light infantry troop. Move back Group 4, move back our cataphract units as well. Wonderful, and Group 3 is almost done over here routing out that unit. The unit should break pretty soon and they have completely broken, so we're going to pull back Group 3, pull back our general as well. Group 4, go ahead, attack that unit. Wonderful. And our cataphracts over here can also charge. Group 3 can go ahead, keep charging into this unit. Wonderful. And I want to pull out Group 2, however the path of least resistance is a little bit contested. We have dealt with all of the units. Meanwhile over here, Group 4 has done a good job. Toggle on that fire at will. Cataphracts can go ahead, hit those missile units over there. Meanwhile, we can toggle on the fire at will for all of these units and move them up close. And with that, we are nearly done with the battle. I mean, there is nothing much the enemy can do. They only have melee units left. And they are in full flight. So what we are going to do is quickly turn off that fire at will. Toggle on and group them all in one group, continue and start to attack them from all directions. And we are going to fast forward and I will see you all in the campaign. And with that, we have defeated the army of the Satrapies. However, we haven't completely wiped them out. They will retreat further back towards the city, and now they shouldn't be able to retreat if we go ahead and auto-resolve this battle. Auto-resolve is looking not so favorable. However, we are going to go ahead, auto-resolve this one, and hopefully we shouldn't lose any cataphract units. And we almost lost a cataphract unit. However, we can go ahead and loot this settlement. This unit should die because it already retreated, and with that we have wiped out the faction of the Satrapies. Wonderful. Meanwhile, our other units can move back towards our asylum. and eventually towards Massalia. We don't need any units, our westernmost provinces are secured, and one by one we are going to transfer all of this to our vassal. And quickly going to see if I can transfer anything. No, I can't transact anything in this turn, and I think that's because I have already selected Treverorum to be transacted to the Bituriges. Meanwhile, over here we can go ahead and attack. We can attack the, I believe, Eravissi. And we are going to move with both of our armies. Go ahead, see if we can declare the war against them. Once again, all of our satrapies join. They're incredibly loyal. The auto-resolve is easy. I am going to go ahead, select that auto-resolve. Then I am going to subjugate them. Wonderful. All of our vassals have kind of improved in their relationships towards us. Meanwhile, over here with the Eravashi, they don't like us. We are going to ask them for the maximum payment, however, and a trade agreement, which they will agree to. And then we are going to keep improving their relationship of us so that they do not revolt against us. They are pretty hostile. And I do believe most of my satrapies do like me, so that is pretty good. What we are going to do is just continue to keep improving the relationships over here. Our dignitaries, meanwhile, are moving slowly across all the way from Belgica towards this region over here in order to get some provinces off our satrapies, which I do not believe that they should own. And it's going to take a while to make this guy fairly friendly with us. However, with every increment that we can give, it should be a little bit faster. And I believe with 6,000 we are gaining about 40 relationships, so that is great. Go ahead and keep doing that.
For my people.
Wonderful.
Come, let me hear your talk. I warn you,
Excellent. 127.
Do not waste words. For my people.
100. We want to bring that up to as friendly as possible.
For my people.
They're just hostile right now. Go ahead, keep increasing it.
Guards above.
70, right? Hopefully we should be able to pay them a bit more. I'm sorry this is going to take a while, but this is absolutely necessary. As you can see, it doesn't really cost us a lot to do because we do have a very powerful economy. We are at about 9.5 million in the bank, so that is obviously very powerful, very strong. And actually, for the most part, in most of my campaigns, especially as a civilized faction, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way towards, of course, the Parthians. They are civilized as well. However, when I do mention civilized, I mean Hellenic factions as well as Roma. I can easily be at this stage at about 30 million. Okay, quickly go ahead. They are neutral towards us now with 82. And we're gonna try just one more. See if that kind of pushes them up towards friendly. That's great. Now they are super friendly with us. All of our satrapies are kind of very friendly with us, including the Kushites, the Muscat, the Musulami, the Nasimones, the Phoenicians, Pontic faction, Tingis, Udii, Vindelici, Zranka, plus the Iceni are just a defensive ally, so not all that friendly towards us. And now we are going to try to march our armies back towards our own provinces so that they can kind of replenish. And with that, I think I am ready to go ahead and end the turn. Have a quick look over here if we can upgrade any characters. We can't really do that, so I'm going to go ahead and end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome back to the next turn. Plague in Alexandria. Okay, let's keep moving our dignitaries across. And over here, we want to move our troops back. And We also want to move our siege stack towards Singidun. That is the plan. And we want to keep transferring provinces over to our vassal, the Bituriges. So what we are going to do is we are going to transfer Nemetusena to the Bituriges. They should have Nemetusena in the next turn. Apart from that, we also want to see if we can get some of those sweet Argioi troops. Go ahead, hire that. Wonderful. We can keep moving these troops kind of westwards into Bibracte. Hopefully we should be able to gain a lot more over there. Meanwhile, Army 2 Mesopotamia can move eastwards. Quick look of what's going on over here. Nothing that important. What we can do is march down towards Numantia. Numantia belongs to them, so we are just simply going to march towards Massalia. It's going to be a long time for these troops to replenish. However, there's nothing much we can do about that. We are just going to slowly march them all towards Massalia. And with that, I think I am pretty good for this turn. Going to have a quick look at all of our provinces. See which buildings we can upgrade. Go upgrade this temple. And we do want to upgrade that building as well. Okay, wonderful. And I am going to sell Massalia as well to the Bituriges. But however, after I sell the Atuaka as well as Nemetusena, I'm going to focus on selling provinces to my other satrapies and hold on to Massalia, so Massalia can be used to replenish these troops as they march across. However, with that, nothing much else to do in this turn. Just a quick look at our agents, and we are going to go ahead and level them up. We can also level up Army for Italia. That is great, so we can get even better skills for them. And what we want to do, could get this research rate faction wide. Not that it matters. I think we are done with management in the next turn, and we are done with siege as well. So the only thing left is actually tactics, and that will mean in about 5 turns we are done with our research. And with that, I am going to go ahead, end the turn, and see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome back to the next turn. We have completed researching our management. Some of our characters have leveled up as well. And with that, we are going to complete that final research. Quick look at this army over here in Vesontio. Can he hire some Argioi? And he can. So we are going to move him towards Bibracte. See if he can hire some more Argioi. Wonderful. And the last province up north over here can go to the Bibracte as well. And with that, we have completed the northern section of, forming our satraps into that standard formation. Meanwhile, we can march our armies towards the east and go ahead and upgrade their stats. As you can see, 45 armor, really good stats, 12 melee attack, 25 melee defense, really fantastic. Meanwhile, we also have another army 1 Parthia over here. We're going to move them towards settlements. Meanwhile, these 2 armies can come back in order to replenish. And I don't really want to have really high supply consumption over here, so I'm going to move the armies that don't really matter out of the region. Now I have 2 options. I could just attack Singidun, which I believe I should. I'm going to go ahead, attack Singidun. Quick save over here. We'll see you all in the battle. Alright, welcome to the battle. We are about to start our deployment. And what we are going to do is we have toggled off the fire at will for all of our units. And that is because we have put them all in flaming arrow shot. And we are going to just burn down the enemy gates or the towers. Meanwhile, our own towers can slowly make their way up to the enemy walls. And we are going to fast forward over here. Our archers move towards the enemy walls quickly. Over here they're done. Pretty much done everywhere, so we're going to pull them behind. Toggle on the standard shot. Keep running our archers out of the range of those units. Get them over here. Wonderful. Meanwhile, our ladders are slowly making their way towards the enemy walls. This ladder can go here. What we are going to do is move up all our Averni Argioi or shield wall closer to the gates. We are going to attempt to burn down those gates. Meanwhile, these two units can also move up a little bit closer. In slow motion, of course. Do want to prioritize that. Our archers are nearly in position. Go ahead. Toggle on the fire at will. Move our archers up close. Start to attack the enemy units. Meanwhile, did I forget my artillery? No, I did not. So I'm going to move my artillery up close as well. Wonderful. And these towers are nearly burnt down, so that is good news. Should prevent us from taking a lot of losses. Meanwhile, we are also going to move our cavalry towards that center over there in order to fire at the enemy units. And our Averni Argoi can run up towards the gates now. They're no longer obstructing the ladders, so we can run them up towards the gates. Once they are all in position, we can start burning the gates. They're almost in position. We are going to go ahead, activate that shield wall ability so that they take less damage from missile fire. Push them up closer to the gates. Just a couple more units as well. Meanwhile, our archers over here have done well, so we are going to push them up forward. Try to hit the other units. These guys can go here. These guys can go here. Our Averni Argoi can go ahead and start... Nope. Get... Jeez, what are you doing? Alright, get into position and start burning down the gates. Wonderful. Meanwhile, these troops can move up. So can these. And now that they are moving up... Nope, I want you to go this way. Here, come here. Wonderful. Artillery can go ahead and start breaking that wall. Go up. And slow down the battle now. We have a lot of missile fire. And once these walls are broken, our elephants can charge into the walls and attack all of the enemy units.
Battle ready and eager! Forward! Cut them down! Make them bleed! Orders, my lord! Charge! The walls are breached!
Alright, we have successfully breached one section of the wall. Go ahead, hit the other section. General can go ahead, inspire everyone so that they do more damage.
One of our units has used all its ammunition. Eating orders! We hunger! Ready! Blood and battle!
I should go ahead and burn down the gates even more. And I don't think they will burn down the gates, so what we can do is just kind of get them up over there onto the ramparts.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Move them this way. Hopefully they go up the ladders. What we want. Okay, these 3 units are going up the ladders. The other ones are not quite. Use our archers to hit their archers. Guys up here, come on, get up the ladder. At least one of you. The other 2, perfect. The other 2 can come here. And the gates have closed again, so you can start burning down the gates. Meanwhile, our general can move all the way up front. These archers are nearly done dealing with that archer unit, after which I will focus them on the last remaining archer unit.
Our general is under attack.
Go ahead, hit that unit. You can stop because you don't have any ammunition left. These 2 guys... every time we can burn down the gates, the unit retreats and we cannot burn down the gates. However, that is done, so our elephants can pretty much charge over here. Meanwhile, our artillery is going to fire around into those enemy units. It's not a very good angle, so they shouldn't get a lot of kills.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
However, any amount of kills is good because this is a spear unit. And we want to weaken them before our elephants can charge into the settlement. We are going to go ahead, fast forward over here. And we can stop firing with the artillery soon enough. Get our elephants to hit this unit.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Wonderful. Group 5, go ahead, keep attacking over there. Elephants are making their way into the settlement. They are going to go ahead, attack this unit. Begin to rout the unit, after which they can go ahead and hit those archer units. After which they can charge into the backs of these units. And that should be quite easily demolished over here. Wonderful. And now our elephant units are looking good. All of them are retreating. Our elephants won't get to do that juicy charge against these units. And with that, the battle is over and I will see you all in the campaign. Alright, so Arsacus the 5th conquers Singidun. And we are going to go ahead and just simply occupy the settlement. We took very minimal casualties in that siege battle. 130 is pretty good. And we are already in the process of selling Atuataka, so we can't sell any more provinces. I'm sorry. And with that, quick look at all of our characters. Can we level them up? Yes, we can. We are going to go ahead, get that industrial. Quick look at our empire maintenance. It is at 0, so there's no point getting the empire maintenance boosts. What we can do is get the boosts for the other things, and that's giving us almost 320,000 sesterci per turn, and we do have 10 million sesterci in our treasury. Meanwhile, our other dignitary can also level up, get that cultural conversion, as well as the empire maintenance. Not that it matters. And we are going to quickly have a look at all of our provinces. Hit that spacebar so that we move faster. Wonderful. Okay, things are looking quite fine over here throughout our empire. We are building up every single building we can possibly build. However, what we want to do is immediately transfer as many provinces as we can to our vassals. Meanwhile, scroll down a bit further. As you can see, one of our agents has leveled up, so let's go ahead and get him some skills. And we are losing men over here because we are out of supplies, but we are moving towards Arasilum. So we won't have that supply issue for much longer. Wonderful. Good stuff, and with that, all of our armies seem to be fine. Okay, we are still losing. I think this army is still in Brigantium, unfortunately, so it will lose a couple more units. However, that's not such a big deal. What we do want to do is transfer some of these provinces as to our subject over here. However, that will have to wait until the next turn. Welcome to the next turn. Alright, dignitaries are slowly making their way across And we do want to get them towards Malva, as well as we want to get the other dignitary towards Pelendava. What we are going to do over here is that this army is completely replenished, so we can move really close to that settlement. And we want to upgrade the character as well within the army. Gonna move it really close to the settlement, hope that the Scythians don't attack it. And instead this rebel army attacks it, because if the rebel army attacks it, then we can pretty much just subjugate them in the next turn, and we will have a Dacian subject in Dacia, so that is good. Meanwhile, over here we do want to transfer all of these provinces eventually to the Lusutonan. However, we can't do that for now. We're slowly marching our army westwards. This army should be able to replenish now. That's great. Meanwhile, this army did suffer a bit of attrition. They're still suffering. We are going to make them move across towards Massalia. However, here is the dilemma. We don't want to sell Massalia just as yet. And for the most part, Gallia is returning to its Celtic roots. Roman culture has been completely wiped off the face of the map. Meanwhile, what I want to do over here is I want to give, maybe let's give Noria to the Vindelici. Wonderful. So Noria will belong to the Vindelici in the next turn. And before we go ahead and end the turn, let us quickly level up all the characters we can level up. And we do have a dignitary who we can level up. Let's go ahead, get that research rate. Not that it matters anymore. It's just 3 turns before we completely research all the technology that we possibly can research. And with that, I am going to go ahead, end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome to the next turn. I've sold yet another region to our satrapy, and that one was Noria, so we are going to keep moving our dignitaries towards the provinces that we want them to move towards. Keep moving. Our other dignitary over here, you are going to move towards Petrodava. Meanwhile, this rebel stack is growing, and in the next turn should be able to attack actually. And over here, what I am going to do is move our other army as well close to Zarmiza-Getusa, and we are going to transfer this settlement over to the Erivashi. Wonderful. Meanwhile, over here, it seems like most of our troops have kind of replenished, so that's good news. Simply going to march them across. I mean, there's no point. We can just spread them out a bit so that they don't take attrition within the same province. And
Ready for battle.
Definitely what we want to do over here is march this army up as well, closer to the settlement if it can, so that I can reinforce and encourage this rebel stack to attack Zarmiza-Getusa. However, with our other armies, we can move them back to Italy. This army over here has fully replenished as well. This army can go all the way down towards Arretium, and it should be able to upgrade into that final speed. Let's go ahead and do that. Wonderful. And up here, this army can move back towards Massalia, the province that is so important for us to level up. We are going to keep marching all of our armies towards Arretium. I think that will be ideal. And do we have yet another army? No. I think with that we are ready to go ahead and end the turn. Let's just have a quick look at all of our characters. None of them need to be leveled up. Our economy is just spiraling and spiraling. And meanwhile, as far as buildings are concerned, nothing much we want to build. However, we do want to start transferring provinces over to the Lusitonan, and we will begin to do that in the next turn. And it should take us about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns to transfer all of the provinces to the Lusitonan. We do have a cultural dominance over here. However, ours is slowly rising and theirs is dropping, so I do want to shift that balance of power in their favor. One of the first provinces I will transfer over to them is probably, let's have a look over here. We will transfer Iplacaea and then Brigantium. And then we can go ahead transfer Mastia. Alright, with that I am going to go ahead end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome to the next turn. Noble Death, Sargon. We have lost an important character over here. However, I can reinstate this guy, because of which we are losing a bit of income. However, once I put him into the settlement, he should be able to make a bit more money. And he already has some skills that is helpful as a governor. Wonderful. And these rebels aren't yet attacking that province, or they did manage to attack it, yet nothing really came of it. So we are going to go ahead and attack the settlement. And over here we're going to liberate the faction. And hopefully we can make them into a vassal. So let's go ahead, get that trade agreement, create a satrapy, pay you a lot. You won't accept, so we'll kind of wait on that and see what we can achieve. Meanwhile, we move back towards Singidun, gain some replenishment, as well as with both of this. Wonderful. And our dignitaries still not doing quite well. We are going to move up towards the Scordicii with our spies, get some line of sight of what's going up north in Germania. Not that it matters, we are not really going to conquer the settlement. We are just going to move our spies up there just to get some line of sight what exactly is going on up there. Meanwhile, our satrap over here has managed to gain yet another province over there. And we could just leave the game and pretty much conquer the world with just our satraps. However, before I go ahead and end the turn, what I am going to do is I am going to... Alright, now this army is done, so I can move him further south, perhaps towards Taras. Before I end the turn, what I am going to do is I am going to sell Iplacaea to the Lusitonan. They should have it in the next turn. And then in the next turn, I am also going to sell Pannonia. Alright, with that I think I am ready to go ahead and end the turn. Nothing much to do in this turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome back to the next turn. We have completed all of our research. We are going to move our armies towards Massalia. Keep moving them across. Meanwhile, this army has gotten into position as well. We are going to go ahead, upgrade those troops. Move this army down towards Arretium. And we can move this army also towards Ariminum. Go ahead, upgrade all of our cavalry. At 9 speed, that is insane. And everything's looking good. We can move up all our armies over here, especially the ones that are not fully leveled up. Seems for the most part, most of our armies are leveled up, so that's great. This one over here can be leveled up. What about this one? Army 1 Parthia, you can also be leveled up. Go ahead, move the other army down here. Army can slowly march its way back towards the south, just to spread out our supply. This army meanwhile can also upgrade. What about Horde 6 Syria? You are already upgraded, so we're going to move you down towards Pulpideva. You can go towards Odessos. Meanwhile, our dignitaries can slowly make its way towards Pelandeva. What chance does he have? He has a 14% chance, so let's go ahead and actually deploy him over there. You, meanwhile, can move towards Petrodava. We do have another dignitary. We are going to move you towards Malva. Meanwhile, our other dignitary is going to march up to the north in an attempt to take Kronos away from the Royal Scythians. I don't like the fact that Kronos owns the province. So I am going to move my dignitary up there, take it away from him. Or rather that the Royal Scythians own that province. It's looking pretty ugly. So I am going to move him all the way up over there and give him the province. Or give away the province. Meanwhile, Gallic culture over here is dropping fast. However, so is... Alright, Iberian culture has come to a standstill over here. It's Brigantium that's losing a lot, so we are going to give Brigantium to the Lusistonan. And in the next turn, we should be able to give away Singidun as well to the Eravishi, so that should be great. And speaking of the Eravishi, we can also quickly check exactly what units we can recruit from them. I'm gonna move here. I don't think we can recruit any like significant units. However, whatever units we can recruit, we can just have a look. And with that, I think I can go ahead and the turn. Quickly going to level up my dignitaries. This one has reached the maximum level. And no other characters need to be leveled up. So let us go ahead and end the turn. And I will see you all in the next turn. And before I actually go ahead and end the turn, I am going to say that I used the Oatman Easy Diplomacy submod to kind of subjugate the BFE. And for now, they are a satrap. What I am going to do is I'm going to take these provinces away from Pontus and the Basilikoi Scythii respectively and transfer it over to the BFE. Welcome back to the next turn. Our general has leveled up. Minor regions sold to a client state. Well, meanwhile, we are going to move our spy up to the north. Go ahead. This spy has almost reached his settlement. So we can go ahead, steal some food. Get a quick look of what's going on over there. Meanwhile, this dignitary can slowly make his way towards Malva. This dignitary has a 28% chance of gaining that province. Meanwhile, we are going to move this dignitary towards Petrodava as well. And what I am going to do over here is I am going to transfer this province to the Eravishi. And with that, it seems like Pannonia is fully transferred. Meanwhile, in Iberia, we are slowly transferring over all the provinces to the Lusitonan as well. And very quickly going to check once again any characters if we can level up. We can level up this guy over here, so we are going to go ahead get that, as well as some further diplomatic bonuses. Let's see if we can give him anything worthy. Cultural wealth is not bad. And I guess that's it. Meanwhile, Hortupasa general has leveled up, so we can go ahead give him his final troops. Meanwhile, Horde 8 Italia, where are you? You're all the way over there. Can move you towards Odessos. And we can actually transfer this champion over to you so that you level up faster. And then we're going to move you towards Pulpudeva perhaps. Meanwhile, this character has fully... can go ahead and upgrade those guys. Move you into the settlement. Move you as well into the settlement perhaps. Wonderful. Meanwhile, Arsacis the 5th is slowly leveling up as well. Can move this guy towards Larissa. Can move this guy towards Pella. Wonderful. Meanwhile, our Shahenshah can go ahead and perhaps just, I don't know, march his way back towards Hecatomylos. go home, pretty much. And pretty much Arsacus II has done a lot in this campaign, so can be known as Arsacus the Great. Meanwhile, quick look, we do have Oathsworn Swordsmen. I think they are slightly better than the Armenian legionaries. Could get Oathsworn, however, it's not really that big a deal. We are done with the campaign for the most part, so there's nothing much else we have left to do. Can deploy this guy in Iyader, meanwhile. And over here, can go ahead and move this guy closer towards Arretium. This guy can move across towards Roma. And I'm actually going to leave you in the settlement. And upgrade all of your troops, of course. As you can see, speed 8, the speed 10. Wonderful stuff, actually. And we can finally move this character into Genoa for some replenishment. Meanwhile, this character can also move north. Quick look at our dignitaries and where they are. This guy is nearly making his way towards Kronos, so let's go ahead, keep moving him towards Kronos. And with that, I think I am ready to go ahead, end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. And however, before I go ahead and end the turn, I have already transferred this, so yeah, we can go ahead and end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome back to the next turn. Our daughter has come of age. What happened? Alliance State Trade Agreement dissolved. Cliffy. What's going on? Aren't you still our satrap? You are. But yeah, we don't have a connection to you, so that is why we lost our trade agreement with you. Meanwhile, this guy has a 31%. We are going to march our guy across. Hopefully, get this guy. Let's say you can move towards Malva. What's your percentile chance? Go ahead, deploy over there. We definitely want to get some regions as quickly as possible. And yeah, and we can also transfer, let's say, ours now to the Lusutonan. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, we can move our ships away from these ports. Move them towards Akragas as well as Karalis. And very soon we should kind of pull out of Iberia as well, so that is kind of good. We are nearly completing our entire vassal, and Iberia is no longer on fire, so that's great. We also want to transfer Massalia over to the Bituriges, and as you can see, the Bituriges have done a quick work in converting this province back, and the next turn we are definitely going to transfer over Massalia so that they can start converting Massalia into Gallic culture. Meanwhile, Hot 10 Africa is done well. We can put him up in Arretium. We can also move this army over here, Army 2 Syria, move him towards Ariminum. We can upgrade his troops as well. And finally, our faction leader can start marching down towards side. This character can go into Pulpadeva. Start to level up. This character over here can move towards Naissos. Although I do think I will actually move him towards... I could actually move this character down to Pella, to Larissa, and move this character back up, because I want to eventually transfer over my champion into the other army. However, with that being done, let's quickly go ahead and check if we can level up any of our characters. We cannot. Let's see if we can level up any of our buildings. We can level up the stables, so let's go ahead and do that. We will have a lot of provinces in which we can level up our stables. So one of them will be, of course, Roma itself, Latium, and the other one will be Libya. Go ahead, do that. And I also believe Thracia. We have about 4 in Thracia. Wonderful. And with that, there's nothing much else to level up. We are just 3 turns away from actually building up our port in Egyptos. And as you can see, Asia is catching up once again to Egyptos. And definitely we're making a lot of money. If I go ahead and put my taxation to full, as you can see, we're almost making 200,000 each. So that's really powerful. And without any further ado, let us go ahead, end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. After which I will go ahead and end this episode. As you can see, our episodes are going quite slowly. Nothing much, nothing exciting happening, and I do apologize for that. However, I have promised 25 episodes, so I am going to stick to that promise. And I am going to try to clean up my borders as much as possible. Alright, welcome to the final turn of this campaign. We are losing more characters, and yet another settlement has been sold to a client state. Quick look of what's going on in Dacia. Guy is at 39%, meanwhile this guy is at 18%. We are going to go ahead, keep moving this guy towards Dacia. Try to move him up towards Petrodava as well. What's his rank? Now we do need higher rank in order to get these provinces successfully. And it seems like the Lugos have captured their original settlement. This guy over here has a 10% chance, so we are going to go ahead, try to cancel his movement, deploy him over here. As you can see, the Scythians are conquering more and more land, and we have wiped out the Scordicii, I believe, with that. Yep. Wonderful. And so there's nothing much else to do. What we can do is slowly march this guy up towards the sea over here. Try to get him up towards Dacia as well. And there's nothing much else to do in this turn. Meanwhile, the Lusitanen and just have 2 more provinces to own Iberia completely. However, we are going to go ahead and sell this province to the Bituriges. And the Bituriges after that will own the entirety of Gallia. Without any further ado, let us go ahead, quickly check which all characters we can level up. There's no characters as such as we can level up, so I am going to go ahead and end this video. And I thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you like the video, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe if you are interested for more. Peace and love.